Hey, what's going on out there? I would like to welcome every single one of you over to Water Your Soil. So before I get into this video, I would like to say, if you're new around here, I have two rules over at this channel. The first rule is for you to always use your own discretion when it comes to credit cards and credit scores. The second rule, that's for you to verify everything that you learn, whether it's here on this channel, another channel, or anywhere. That should be a rule to life. So getting into this video is going to be about some credit card news. And this credit card news is a major warning to every single one of you, every eye that's watching this video. Because if you clicked on this video, I'm assuming you either want to know about what's going on with credit cards or you're someone who has a credit card. But before I get into the news, I would like to say, one of the most contradicting conversations on social media and in society in general, but we're going to take it to social media because it relates to this video and countless amounts of other videos on social media platforms. But one of the most contradicting conversations on social media comes down to personal finance and financial literacy. One of the complaints is, oh, they should teach financial literacy in school because financial literacy is not really pushed to the forefront in society. You don't really see it on the news in regards to the top headlines and the breaking news, and you don't really see it in schools, and you don't really see it pushed around as much as the negative news. Now, here's where I see the contradiction. So on YouTube, you have some fantastic content creators in the financial space, especially in the credit card space. When it comes to this credit card space, it's small. The credit card community is small. And there are some fantastic content creators. For the most part, everyone comes with their own style and they bring their own point of view to the table. And that's great. However, this community is probably one of the least supported communities throughout the financial space. And we could take things over to this channel. When it comes to this channel, I push out content. All I ask for out of you all is a simple like. Yes, I post my books as marketing and promotion at the end of my videos, but when it comes to this YouTube thing, all I ask for you all is a simple like or a share to pay it forward and help someone out. When some of you wonder why financial information isn't pushed to the forefront on social media and in society, is because the lack of engagement, the lack of interest. And I just wanted to put that out there because it's always this conversation about, hey, you know, financial literacy isn't really taught in schools. It's really not taught anywhere, but it comes down to us. We're responsible for that. The more we have interest in it, the more it will be talked about. And the less we have interest in it, the less it will be talked about. And that's with anything in general. People pick up things, including the news. They pick up things that people are interested in, and that's what they push out. And I'm a firm believer in that. Interest catches attention. So be sure to support your favorite content creator in the financial space, especially here in this credit card space, whether it's liking their video, sharing their video, subscribing, making sure all notifications are on. In fact, if you're here on this channel and you're a subscriber, make sure that you do click on the bell and have all notifications turned on. But I'm not going to waste any further time. I'm going to get right into the article, all right? So let's go. So this article is posted on CNBC.com. And it says, credit card debt reaches $1.21 trillion in line with last year's all-time high New York Fed fines. And this was published on Tuesday, August 5th, 2025. And it was posted by Jessica Dickler. So they always give key points on CNBC, which is cool. So it says key points. Collectively, Americans owe $1.21 trillion on their credit cards, according to a new report from the Federal Reserve Bank of New York. A separate report by Equifax found that many consumers are continuing to spend despite elevated prices and high borrowing costs. Now, that's no surprise to me. People are going to continue to use their credit cards. Credit cards are a big deal, especially right now. And they're growing in popularity. I know years ago, credit cards were viewed as something that only certain people could get their hands on. But with the birth of secured cards, making it so more people could get their hands on credit cards and could build up their score so they could increase their score and qualify for more credit cards, it has become more popular over the years. And then you have things such as the rewards and the airport lounges and just the connections with different companies and different businesses as far as offers offers and benefits go. So we're going to get further into it. It says credit card balances are ticking higher in 2025, according to a new quarterly report on household debt from the Federal Reserve Bank of New York. Balances rose by $27 billion in the second quarter to a collective $1.21 trillion, in line with last year's all-time high. The total is up 2.3% from the previous quarter. At the same time, we are still seeing elevated delinquency rates for credit cards, the New York Fed researchers found, with 6.93% of balances transitioning to delinquency over the year. It says, quote unquote, "This looks to be a little bit of catch-up," the researcher said on a press call Tuesday, in part due to unusual leniency during the pandemic, and because consumers may have overextended themselves as inflation spurred higher costs in the years since. It says, quote unquote, "Those are things we have been keeping an eye on," the New York Fed researcher said. Credit card debt had remained stable for decades. However, in the years since the pandemic, households largely spent down their excess savings while the cost of living jumped, which sparked a sharp rebound in credit card balances. It says a growing K-shaped split. Separate data from Equifax found that many consumers continue to spend despite elevated prices and high borrowing costs, while credit card delinquency rates remain relatively flat. But subprime borrowers show signs of strain, with a high rising share of the overall debt, according to Equifax. Subprime generally refers to those with a credit score of 600 or below. It says, quote unquote, "There's a growing K-shaped split in the consumer landscape, with subprime borrowers falling behind," Tom O'Neill, market post advisor at Equifax, said in a statement. Many subprime borrowers are younger cardholders with shorter credit histories. These are also borrowers more at risk of facing debt repayment challenges now that the Trump administration has restarted collection efforts on defaulted federal student loans. It says, quote unquote, "I think most people are generally doing okay, but it wouldn't take much for them to not be okay," said Matt Schultz, chief credit analyst at LendingTree. It says so many Americans are a job loss, income reduction, or a medical emergency away from real financial trouble. On the other side of the divide, just over half of cardholders, or 54%, typically pay in full, thereby avoiding interest, according to another report by Bankrate. It says, quote unquote, "Their card usage is counted among balances, but isn't true debt like the other 46% of cardholders are facing," said Ted Roseman, Bankrate senior industry analyst. By way of example, with annual percentage rates just over 20%, if you made the minimum payments towards the average credit card balance of $6,371, it would take you more than 18 years to pay off the debt and cost you $9,259 in interest over that time period, Roseman calculated. It says, quote unquote, "There's a huge difference between someone who uses credit cards for rewards and convenience versus someone who is carrying pricey debt for years." What this is going to come down to, because as you can see, credit card usage is up. People are spending, and people are not going to stop spending, because if the economy is doing bad, people are still going to reach for their credit cards, because everyone doesn't view credit cards the same. If it was up to me and my outlook and my goal and what I want for people, I want people to view credit cards the way I view them. I view credit cards as a tool. Yeah, the rewards are nice, and the quote-unquote security of having an extra source of money that you can use if you go out to dinner or go out and want to take a trip or whatever it may be, is cool, because with credit cards, you basically get a 30-day loan. You use your card and then you're billed for it the month after. The problem is a lot of people don't look at credit cards as a tool. They view them as another form of income, and that's where the problem lies, because credit cards are not your money. I'll say it again. Credit cards, the money on your credit limit, is not your money. And I have been telling people this for years. Credit cards will give you a false confidence. And what I mean by that, They'll lead you to believe your credit card limits with 20, 40, 30, 50, however much your credit limit is your money. And I hear people brag about it all the time. They'll say, hey, I have a $60,000 credit limit. I have a $40,000 credit limit. I even did a poll a while back and people were talking about how much their credit limit is. And some people were like, wow. And while that's cool, while credit limits do seem cool, you still have to pay back whatever you spend. So if you have a very high limit and you're going to do very high spending, your income better make up for that, because if your income doesn't, you're going to find yourself in some major credit card debt. So to bring it all back, I'm aware of how people view credit cards as an extra form of income. A lot of people, if you were to ask them, they probably believe that credit cards are a part of their net worth, and they're not, because it's simply a loan. As I always stated, it's a 30-day loan that you're technically supposed to pay back in 30 days, but if you don't pay it back in that time period and you carry over balances, that's when the interest picks up. And we're talking about outside of an introductory APR period. The interest does pick up and you start paying interest for the balances that you do carry over. And some people, they don't mind. They don't mind paying balances on it. You get people who come by here often and they be offended. And the way how some of you are so offended about these credit cards is ridiculous. They're credit cards. I don't believe in idolatry. I'm not going to idolize a credit card. I'm a fan of credit cards. And yes, like I said, I view them as a tool for rewards. I view them as a tool for benefits. And I view them as a tool for helping my credit score. However, I'm not going to be idolizing a credit card. I'm not going to be getting into it with people and leaving comments on someone's comment section and insulting them because they're not a fan of the Chase Sapphire Preferred, or they're not a fan of Chase, or they're not a fan of American Express. People are entitled to like what they want to like when it comes to these credit cards. And to be truthfully honest with you all, some of you take these credit cards outside of making sure that you pay them back. You take them far too serious when it comes to viewing them as a status symbol. I don't view credit cards as a status symbol, but I could tell some of you do. And it often leads me to wonder if that also plays a part with people being in such high credit card debt, because they do view it as a status symbol and they do view it as a second form of income. And as I stated earlier, some people might view it as a part of their net worth. Nonetheless, these credit cards are tools. Tools that you could use for rewards, tools that you could use for benefits, and tools that you can use to increase or maintain your credit score. Outside of that, I don't view them as anything else. They're not like some big badge of honor. Yes, I have an American Express Platinum card. That was what I considered my grail, a card that I always wanted. Grail in the sneaker world is a shoe that you always wanted. And in the credit card world, for me, it was a card that I always wanted, and I got it. Now, when I did get the Amex Platinum, did I feel like I was on top of the world? No. Did I want to shun other people for not having it? No, because I don't view it as that. It's just something that I always wanted. And I want you all to start viewing these cards the same way, because contrary to what some of you may believe, these cards, they can land you in a lot of trouble, especially when it comes to debt. But I just wanted to share this article with you all to let you know where things currently stand. Things are right back up to the 2024 fourth quarter all-time high when it comes to credit card debt. And we got to watch out for that, because I believe it's going to go higher. If the fourth quarter in 2024 was that high, please believe there's a possibility, a high possibility, the fourth quarter of 2025 will be higher. Stay tuned. We'll find out soon in the next couple of months. But anyways, while you're here, before you go and click on the link to read the article, I currently have an active poll on my channel that I want you all to participate in. The way you do so is you click on my profile picture. It's going to take you to the home page of this channel. Once you're on the home page, you're going to see a section that says post. Click on that post section and it's going to take you to my latest poll as well as my previous polls. But anyway, if you're new here and you're feeling the vibe, this is Water Your Soil. Be sure to hit the subscribe button, turn on all notifications. That way you don't miss a future video, because I post often. That's clicking on that bell that you see and selecting all. Also, this goes to every single one of you, my subscribers included, and those watching on TV. be sure to hit the like button. It literally takes a second. Hit the like button. That lets the algorithm know you support this video and this channel. I appreciate every single one of you for watching. This is Water Your Soil, and I'm out. Hey, what's going on? This is Nell from Water Your Soil. So as someone who went from a 549 credit score all the way up to the 800s, I decided to share the same information that helped me go from poor credit to excellent credit. This book is titled Strategies to Master Credit. I put everything in this book, everything that helped me go from poor credit to excellent credit. All of the information is in this book. So I want you all to purchase this book. A lot of you have already purchased it, but it's available currently right now on Amazon.com and also MasterCreditBook.com. It's titled Strategies to Master Credit. You want this book. It has all the information needed in order for you to go from poor credit to excellent credit, or just simply maintain your good or excellent credit score. So get the book ASAP. And if you want something more in depth, you could take the course over at www.wateryoursoil.com. It's more in depth. There are actually chapters in this course, and it walks you through basically how FICO credit scores come about and how they're determined. And really, once you learn how FICO scores come about and the concept of credit scores, then you're pretty much on your way to either going from poor credit to good credit, or just maintaining a good or excellent credit score. So if you want something more in depth, I have the course over at www.wateryoursoil.com. All right.